What up, man? You already know what it is, man. It's YFRS. Welcome to NXZSound Vote, man. Today I'm going to introduce you to a platform that I've been using. I actually built the NXZSound Collabs platform. Using this platform I'm about to introduce you to. So it's proven. Plenty of people have built apps off of this platform as well. They've been shaking things up in 2024. It's been out for a couple years. It's a platform that allows you to build iOS, Android, and web applications using the Google language of Flutter, Dart. That platform is called FlutterFlow. So we're going to get into it, right? So build better, launch faster. I don't know about you, but just watching this GIF picture right here on the screen, crazy. The things that you can actually do with this platform. And I've been searching for a platform that allows me to do everything that I need to do. Let's see who's using the platform. So it's trusted by developers at Amazon, Google, General Motors, Salesforce, Wendy's, Capital One. You feel me? Microsoft, IBM, that's big. You know what I mean? So they redid the site. The site didn't even look like this at first when I actually first got on, but they've been killing it. Rethink how you build UI and logic visually. This is a big breakthrough, especially for people trying to have, you can kind of cut the learning curve in regards to learning how to use these platforms and build visually and not programmatic. Programmatically, it's like the code way, where you're just looking at a bunch of gibberish on the screen. To a lot of people, they're not going to understand using like a IDE or development platform or VS Code or things like that. It can get real confusing real fast if you're not like a full geek mode out here in the streets. So this is game changer. This is key. Build faster visually using 200 plus pre-designed UI elements. So from this picture, you can see they got the text widget, rich text, which is like if you made a blog, circle images, maybe for avatars, they like your profile pictures, some Instagram type vibes, buttons, icons, list tiles. They basically took the basics that you need to get started on building something and said, well, you don't got to keep rebuilding and reinventing the wheel. We're just going to give you those widgets because you don't really need those to be custom because everybody pretty much does the same thing. The part that got me the most, add logic with your app with our visual action flow editor. To me, this is the best part of the whole FlutterFlow system is the action flow. The action flow makes, conditional logic and things like if you was a WordPress user or a website user, you have to build all type of plugins and have 57 million different plugins on the platform to get it to work. But that makes the website heavy. It slows it down. You start getting a bunch of users on the platform. It slows it down. PHP my admin starts screaming. You know what I mean? Ah! It's just a lot, man. So I think being able to have this ability to have the logic flow editor and make the logic on how you want the app to flow visually is fire. It makes it more like Legos, little building blocks. The ability to test the app, fix bugs, easy with the test mode. So you can basically work on something, put it in test mode. You can try it out and see what it does before actually having to get it onto an actual app for real. And that's clutch. That's key. You know what I mean? You got to be able to test things. So you can customize everything. You're not really stuck. As you can see on this screen, we have code. We have the design system. We have the actual editor to change things. But I'll say this again, the code. There's a lot of like real developers. You know what I mean? People that's front-end developer, back-end developer. No code has always been like that's not real. You know what I mean? It's not real coding. For the fact that you can actually go in there and use Flutter, use Dart language to actually make a custom widget, make custom things using custom code, custom actions, connect cloud functions and different things to expand the app. I think I saw one app in one of their presentations on the FFDC where they said they had like 600 plus custom actions and widgets and stuff. I'm like, custom code. I'm like, that's pretty wild. Connect your app to data with a few clicks. Second big key thing. So with action flows, to me, was like a big piece. The next big piece past that was being able to actually connect to a database. So not just any database, but a cloud database, a Google Cloud database, or Firebase, or Superbase, etc. To get to your data. That's key because it's fast. Third biggest thing on this platform, if you know, you know. If you're a developer, you know. You can easily leverage any third-party API or your own RESTful backend. That's huge, man. Because there's a lot of platforms out there that have data. Say you want to pull plays or pull artists off of Spotify or Amazon Music, Apple Music, or YouTube. If you want to pull statistics from somebody's Instagram page or a TikTok or Google Analytics, anything that has a RESTful API, you can actually connect to pull that data in using an API to connect it into your app and get that data. That's huge. You know what I mean? If there's an API for it, for Stripe, Square, Cash App, blockchain platforms, if there is an API, you can incorporate it into this app. So that's already big. You got a front end, you got database control, you have API control, you got an action flow editor. That's killing the game already. If they didn't have nothing more, that's it. That's clutch already. That's all I need. So built-in integrations for setting up payments, maps, and so much more. Now, I will say this. The payment side is a little, that's where I'll say, I wouldn't say FlutterFlow is no code. I would say it's low code. Because you got to get comfortable with APIs. I feel like the real magic on FlutterFlow happens when you get comfortable with APIs. So if you know how to use Stripe APIs or APIs in general, test your APIs, lock those in on something like FlutterFlow, the world opens up to you at that point. You got very little limits. Without it, the ceiling could be a little bit low, especially on the payment side, but you know, that's not really a bad thing. It's more so like just learn how to use APIs. You know? Collaborate seamlessly. Now, this has gotten better over time. Develop collaboratively with your team using branching. Key. So in a normal environment, when you have a development team, you're going to have the dev environment, the staging environment, the pre-production environment, the production environment, which is what everyone uses. That's what you deploy to. That's going to be like your main branch where all the code lives, what everybody uses, like your youtube.com. You know what I mean? And then you have development where you just try and crap. You have a bunch of different developers building on different things. You stage it where it's gotten a little bit more cleaner. Pre-production, and you check everything to make sure it's right before merging that into your main branch. This was something major that they added in the FlutterFlow, which is key. So if you're working with a development team, you can say you have the branch that you don't want nobody to touch. My code is perfect. I don't want this crap getting messed up. I can make a branch and give that branch to a developer and let them mess up over there. Leave comments and assign tasks to each other natively. Now, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really use that feature that much. More than likely, you're gonna use like a task management type app or something like ClickUp or Todoist or Trello or something more. You know what I mean? Where you work with a team where more people are at. I think that's gonna take time for them to build that app, but it's still a good feature. Build once and deploy everywhere. So what that means is you build it one time. You make sure it's responsive. And it works on iOS, Android, and web. And you can make the different responsive versions. So obviously if you're on laptops, it's a little bit larger. So you gotta make sure that it's responsive. But I like the fact that you can build it one time and deploy it on all platforms. That's key. Biggest piece of this whole thing, man. You get to keep the code, just in case I want to leave FlutterFlow altogether. I could take the code and work in VS Code, keep going, hire a team, deploy through Code Magic, which I think they use in the background, and get back to work mad easy and not be locked in. You can run locally, to run like an actual device locally on your computer to check things, which is giving you more of the traditional sense of developing. Now you don't get to actually touch the main code. It's separated. So when you click view code, you have like this pages, components, pub spec, everything that where you can see it, but you can't make changes to it directly right there. Now what you would have to do is kind of go into the app and make custom code, and you can kind of inject that into the project. So that's still clutch. The fact that you can actually do that, I'm pretty sure that's going to open up more and more and more as the app builds. You can connect to GitHub repos, man, easy. So you could take your code, push all your different versions off the platform, off of FlutterFlow into your GitHub repositories, which is key. You could download the APKs. You know what I mean? You can use FlutterFlow CLI. It's a lot of stuff going on here, man. Like that's already killing it. So for a so-called no-code platform, it's really, I would say, low code. Once you really start actually building something that matters, you're kind of going to have to start using some level of code, for simple things. Like if you wanted a music player or certain things that are outside of the spec of their built-in 200 widgets. The music player is cool, it's it works, but it's not like an Apple player by any means. So that would be something you have to make custom. You know what I mean? So things like that, you have the capability to do on FlutterFlow. So You can go on the site, check out some of the apps that they've made with it. Once again, you can download NXZSound Collabs because that was made with FlutterFlow. So go check that out, man. That's a vibe. You know, we've been there and done that. If you need help setting up your own app, keep watching on this channel on NXZSound Vote. I'm gonna definitely take you guys through some vibes, show you how to build some things on there. We're gonna go through a couple videos. Man, you already know what it is. It's Y4S. NXZSound Vote. Stay tapped in. Y'all know what it is.